The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Happiness Jungle with yours truly, the Chief Happiness Officer, Lyn-Dee Eldridge. And today I am just so happy, and I'm excited that I met Michael a few weeks ago. And we met at a party, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, and there was a lot of really great food there.
There was some good food.
There was some great food, and when I started to learn more about you, I got more excited, and I knew that I wanted to have you on my show. So thanks, Michael, for coming on and sharing some really great healthy tips for everybody out there in the Happiness Jungle world.
Right on. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're an author of an amazing book, and I'm super excited about this book. And you know what really excites me, Michael, is that you're a man of great vision, and you're a product of your product. And everything that I read about your book, I see it in you.
Live what I preach.
You do. You're an author, you're a trainer, you're a coach, and you're a plumber by trade as well, huh?
I am. Yes.
Talk about Roto-Rooter and helping us, you know. Should I really go there?
No.
Okay. We never know what's going to be said on this show. This is raw and real, guys. Raw and real. So that's what you're in for today. All Michael, right. Inspire us with what made you. How old is your book?
About 4 years now.
What inspired you?
Well, I learned a bunch of new information later in life. I was always trying to be healthy and stay healthy. Mm-hmm. But I realized that, certain companies were doing things surreptitiously in order to make that, not necessarily possible without having further information. So once I was enlightened to this newer information, I began to practice it and had great results. Got really excited about it and wanted to tell everybody. The problem is two things. One is not everyone's ready to hear it. And two is just plain and simple too much information to hand to somebody in passing. So I started writing some papers and some different things, and I decided to put it together in a book.
That's fantastic. So you put it together in a book because you're absolutely right. When the student's ready, the teacher appears. It doesn't matter what we do in life, whether it's health or anything else. That is so true. Mm-hmm. So you're right. Your book is written so well that as far as I'm concerned, anybody could follow it who wants to follow it and change their lifestyle.
That was the goal. I wanted to make it accessible to the average person.
Right.
So you didn't need to be a doctor in order to understand it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because those big words scare the bejeebies out of me. If I can't read them, I don't know what they're about, and if I can't read what they're about and I look at them in the dictionary, probably not even going to still be able to.
Well, that's just
clear.
it. I don't want you to have to use your toolbox too often while reading the book.
Yeah.
Too many stops and goes.
Yeah.
Makes it more difficult to absorb. But there is a lot of information. We broke down the glossary extensively into small bits and pieces so it's easy to refer to if you have a specific topic you want to run back to and check out or study some more. And everything on there, every piece of information in that book is on the internet. Mm-hmm. Basically where I got it all. Right. Books and the internet.
So you do your research, you invest your time.
Mm-hmm.
And you make sure that whatever you practice, you preach, is because you're doing it yourself. And if it worked for you, it's going to work for other people too.
Yeah, not everything, but the basics are there for sure. I mean, it's not like you have to do exactly what I do.
Right.
But when you understand some basic concepts, you can tweak your lifestyle and your environment to make it much safer for you and your family, which really is the goal.
Yeah, I like that. And you know what else I like about you is that we spoke about it right before we started filming today, but I heard on the radio today about flat bellies. Everybody, when they hear about this motion, that this magic pill, this magic therapy, this magic program, your stomach can be flat in 50 days or in 20 days, 30 days, you have a wedding coming up. Seriously, share with us, because it's such crap.
Well, again, when I wrote my book, I put nothing in there about personal training. There's so much so many different workout programs and, training programs that would work for anybody if you put the time and effort in. So there's more than enough of that out there. I wanted to stay focused on body chemistry, the environment, how it affects our immune system, what causes disease, and how to avoid those types of things. And yes, when you're healthy, a side effect is weight loss, and real weight loss and weight loss that stays gone. You're not just changing something for a short amount of time or trying to tweak something a little bit.
Yeah.
It becomes a way of life, and your body kind of molds itself around that.
And just like anybody else, step out of your comfort zone and everything else is doable and possible.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're living a lifestyle that created a belly that's not so flat, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to add one specific thing or change one little thing and create a flat belly that will last a lifetime.
Voila. No voila.
Obviously, we're all looking for that easy, quick fix,
Yeah.
which is why we fall for this time and time and time again.
Right. You know what amazes me? People always say they can't afford this, they can't afford that, but yet everybody could afford what they want to afford, and they're investing in themselves in these lotions and potions where, in fact, if they would just invest themselves in buying healthier food, eating right, doing, even at home, there are great solutions for people to be able to exercise at home.
Yes.
The wall is a tool, right?
In my opinion, body chemistry and diet is 80% of it. As far as being in shape, which is what everybody wants to do, and being healthy, which is really more important. So you don't have to be an athlete to be healthy. Now, we weren't meant to sit and be sedentary. I mean, what's the point of having a body if you're going to sit on the couch all day?
Right.
But simply moving around, like if you have an active job like a nurse where you're moving around all the time, that with a good diet, you're all set.
Yeah.
Now, you sit in a cubicle, you're going to want to take some time during the week to maybe get on the treadmill or go for some nice brisk walks or whatever. But
They think kegling is enough. I don't know about that.
you want to raise your heartbeat. You want to be breathing, get some oxygen into the body. But again, we don't have to become triathlon athletes to be healthy. And that turns most people off. And secondly, today, because of the 85%, which is important, which is the diet, most of us suffer from metabolic syndrome, and our body is breaking down from within. So the last thing I want to do is tell you, let's get out there and start running around, jumping up and down, doing backflips, extreme training, P90X, an hour and a half, 3 times a week. It's crazy. Your body has forgotten how to use, manage, and store energy, and for specific reasons, And because that's the case, you just don't have the energy, and you potentially are setting yourself up for injury. So again, body chemistry and being healthy first is really important. Now, you go for a brisk walk or even a slow walk, unless you're, really ready to be injured. Almost anybody should be able to do that, unless you already can't walk.
Right.
So it doesn't take extreme working out. It's more about cleansing the body, nourishing the body, giving it what it needs to be healthy and to heal. Then you can work out.
I like that.
Take it to the next level.
Okay, so let's say we've got a lot of people in our audience, and the great thing about the show, The Happiness Jungle, is that our audience gets very interactive with us, even though they're not on the stage. You know what I'm saying? So I always want my audience to say, man, that was a really great show with Michael. I really got a lot out of it. I have some of my audience that have maybe had surgery. They're not able to really be mobile yet. So they're kind of using that as the excuse. And I'm not one for excuses. I'm all about solutions, all right?
Correct.
So I want to give that person that's looking and going, oh, well, woe's me. No. There's no woe's you. There are many people that have disabilities today, permanent, temporary, that can do this, right?
Well, we're talking about body chemistry, so it really doesn't take any physical ability to do anything in the book there, really.
Change the shopping list. You give somebody a shopping list. Hey, I need this at the grocery store. Or now you have the call-aheads at grocery store. Instead of picking the junk aisle,
You want to stay on the perimeter of the grocery store. Unless you're at Whole Foods, then you can
you
get
go,
in the middle, too.
Yeah, right? I love that store. You got to be careful in that store, too, though.
Oh, you can spend some dough there.
You could spend some dough, and not everything on this shelf. I mean, so let's talk about that, all right? I have a bag of yumminess in front of me. I have a few bags. However, You know, does that mean that I eat the whole bag of the organic yogurt raisins that I bought? Tell me about that.
There's a specific reason why today we're eating more than we used to. And it's because our satiety system is being interrupted or, malfunctioning. And what that means is we eat, our bodies are not telling us to stop eating when we're full. Now, we have certain hormones in the body. One would be called leptin. When you eat and your liver starts making fat, the fat cells release leptin to tell your brain, hey, we're good now. Because we're starting to store, so we don't need to eat anymore. We're replenished for now, we're good. And then ghrelin is a hormone that's released to tell your brain that you're hungry. So these two hormones in this system has been completely interrupted, and it's been caused by a poison that we all consume on a daily basis, and we consume way too much of it. And that poison is fructose.
Tell us a little bit about that, because I know you got some great thoughts about that. I can see it in your eyes. You're like ready to blast this fructose.
I need to add a whole chapter to the book. I have like 4 more chapters I got to go in. It's been a few years since
Good. We're looking forward to the
but-
second edition.
Right on. But fructose is a poison. It can only be metabolized by the liver. It's not involved in any chemical reaction or in the body. It's not a nutrient or an essential nutrient. And since it can only be metabolized by definition, it is a poison. And it is the cause of all metabolic syndrome. That means hypertension, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, some cancers, and the umbrella gets bigger and bigger as time goes on. So, and we know sugar, we say, carbs make us fat. Well, there's different kinds of carbs. Glucose is the energy of life. And you can store an unlimited amount in your liver. And yes, you can develop subcutaneous fat if you were to overconsume too much glucose.
Right.
But it is not a poison like fructose. So fructose causes us to be fat, but on the inside, all the bad stuff in the arteries, and causes high blood pressure. There's a lot of things that go on in the liver when the liver metabolizes fructose. Inflammation, insulin resistance in the muscle and the liver. Again, the satiety system being interrupted because your body's not making healthy fat, so the fat cells don't say, hey, we're good, and release leptin. It just doesn't release any leptin. As a matter of fact, it'll block the release of leptin, and you'll eat more. So if you send a kid into McDonald's, say, and you prime him with a can of Coke, he's going to eat more than he would if you didn't.
That's a good analogy right there. The can of Coke, yeah.
Yeah, the World Health Organization suggests 9 teaspoons of added sugar for men per day and 6 for women. What that means is for a guy, 36 grams of sugar a day. That's like 2/3 of a can of soda or a half of a 20-ounce soda. So a 20-ounce soda is 2 to 2.5 days worth of sugar for a man.
Wow.
One. Or, 20 ounces of fruit juice or, fruit punch or even organic orange juice or grape juice. It's been extracted, concentrated, and it's bad for you.
Right.
Now, when we say added sugar, a lot of people think, well, that's only what I physically add with a spoon.
True.
And that's just not the case. Your ketchup, cookies, clearly all the bakery products, your condiments, like we said, ketchup, crackers, cereals, any processed food most likely has some added sugar in it. So it adds up by the end of the day, especially when you eat a lot of processed foods. End up with a lot of sugar. And that's causing a lot of health problems. Now, we said fructose is a poison, so it's contaminating the body and causing the liver to malfunction and all these other things. Well, there's plenty of other contaminants in the environment, in our environments today too, that do similar things. So it's not just sugar or fructose, but that's the most common one as far as food goes, or voluntarily eating poisons.
Right. So, first of all, your website is fantastic. I enjoy it so much because it really is like for 101 for dummies. Hi, my name is Lyn-Dee Eldridge. I'm a 101 for dummy. And I love it because it's very easy to get wherever I want when I have a question. So first, share with the audience your website because I really want them to go there.
Well, honestly, it's still under construction. We have a splash page which talks about the book and tells you how you can order the book.
Right.
And it also gives you access to me via email or even phone call. If you did get the book and have questions, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. But the website that we are planning on launching, it's an extension of the book. We want to be there to answer the questions. We understand that the book is a lot of information in there, and you might not necessarily be able to apply all the concepts to the particular things in your life, and we want to be able to help you with that. I mean, we don't want you to just go, this is overwhelming, and not do anything.
Yeah.
So,
well, before I ever have a guest on my show, I always love to look more deeply. So maybe I found a lot of information on your Facebook fan page.
Could be.
Okay, I know that. I mean, it's so inviting. And whether it's the colors that you use, the graphics that you use, because people are very visual. Again, I'm the kind of person that likes to go to the restaurant and I want pictures. I know, that's just crazy.
That's okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I do. I'm a visual.
Right on.
Maybe it's because I'm dyslexic. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
So,
I mean, vision is very important.
It is important. That's why your book just gravitates. I mean, look at the colors, look at the vibrance. But not only that, when I see that a girl is sitting there and she's smiling and she's eating healthy food, they're meditating, they're riding bicycles, whether they're doing the stepping at the gym or whether they're outdoors. We're being very active. And you could do these wherever. I'm a big girl. I'm very big on doing, what is it called? When you just raise yourself up and you just hold yourself there. Pilates? Not Pilates. Planks. Plank, okay? I remember my first time that I was challenged. I did a 30-day plank challenge. And the first time, like 5 seconds was, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now, I could stay in that position for 5 minutes. And I'm excited about that, but it didn't happen the first day. As a matter of fact, the first day I was like 30 seconds, oh my God, what is it over? What is it over, right? So it doesn't matter. Somehow or another, you have to apply something in your life. So there's really no excuses for anybody, right?
Again, the biggest problem for me is false information, number one. All the carrots being dangled and the dreams being sold that never come to fruition. And the fact that people have metabolic syndrome. If you don't heal from that, how can you become more active? That's why people are sitting on the couch talking about being tired when they haven't done anything.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's because their body is not able to use energy properly.
Right.
You got to fix that first.
You got to fix it first, right? So what I've learned is instead of the bag of potato chips that I love, I mean, seriously, you open up a bag of Lay's potato chips and I'm like, and I can't smell, but all of a sudden I see them, right? And you can't just eat one. The wise old owl was always right, wasn't he? The wise old owl. But what I've learned is to substitute those potato chips, and now I pick different kind of vegetables, whether it's zucchini, even cucumbers. And I put some olive oil. Olive oil is very big in here, in your book. And I'll sprinkle it with some wonderful herbs, and I broil because I like it crispy. And I see I'm a burnt person, that's a whole different story, and I found that, they're delicious, and they've replaced my urge and my craving for the potato chip.
Well, that is part of the problem is we are malnourished, and our body only experiences what we have eaten, or at least what our basic diet has been. So your body picks and chooses what it gets from those certain foods and then sends out the cravings. If you can change your diet, you will eventually develop the trust of your body that you're going to continue to give it the right kind of nutrients.
Right.
And you will, those cravings will subside and go away.
And
Sugar is the
I'm going to
toughest
take that
one,
word, you can, to if you want to.
Or not.
Because you can. Yeah, you can. You could do anything you want. You can, you cannot.
Right.
Choice is yours.
Whether you believe you can or not.
Whether you believe you can or not.
Believe me, you can. It's, it only makes sense that if you're not fueling your body correctly, it's not going to perform like you want it to.
Right.
I mean, you don't put the right gas in your car, it's not going to run right. You don't put any gas in the car, it's not going to run at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as much as you hate buying gas and hate pumping it into the car, there's no getting around it. It's not going to work otherwise. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously, you are definitely a product of your product. I mean, look at you. You're like a brick house, right? I mean, you are that's one of the things that attract people to you. And when they find out that you're a health coach, they want to be sponsored by you. They want to be coached by you because they look at you and go, if I could look like that, then that's who I want to learn from.
People who have the results, that's the one you want to listen to.
Yeah.
Only makes sense.
It does. It only makes
It's a scientific method as opposed to politics. We can argue and debate things all day long, or we can look at the results and decide what works.
Yeah, exactly. And in regards to the debates, who cares? We're not even going to go there, but whatever works for you, don't get caught up in spending your time. And that's another thing, okay? If you're in front of the television and you're watching any kind of debate, I don't care what kind of debate is it, and it's not serving you, well, then go vote for yourself to do something else. Elect different choices, right?
The concept is think for yourself, do some research. Yeah. And, the TV's great, but you got to look in other avenues, too, if you want some real truths. I mean, the TV protects a lot of money, so it's tough to really sift through and get to the truth.
How can people sift through it? Give them a hint, because what you just said was really validated, and that was very powerful, and that's something that I never even thought of.
Well, it's a matter of a specific kind of mindset. You got to understand that there's a lot of corruption today. Money is number one. That's it. So if it means lying to you and hiding things from you in order to continue to profit, that's what they're going to do. That's what's been going on. People don't, if I had a $1 billion income every year and I suddenly realized it wasn't good for people, it'd be difficult to want to give it up. So it's realistic at the same time, but some of this stuff has been going on for a long, long time. They've known about it from the beginning, again, done surreptitiously, and they continue to do it. And it's not always just for profit. There's an agenda above and beyond profit, too, which, that can be a whole nother show.
Yeah,
really.
Okay. Well, we're going to have that show, because I believe in being real and raw on this show, and I want people to know the facts, because that's why the Happiness Jungle exists. It's about the reality world of today and how to stay on a happy track. And it's not a show for anybody that lives on excuses. You got to get rid of those excuses and become active.
Beauty of this physical reality that we reside in is that you can customize it for yourself. I know there's a lot of noise and coming from the TV and a lot of things that
not on this show
interrupt, your flow of happiness and joy and focus. And really, that's where you need to stay. I don't think that we were necessarily here to change the world. I think we're here for the world to change us. And then you just come through it. And again, the happier you are, the more successful you are.
Right.
So that's really
that's very interesting what you just said. About
Well,
life.
I have some specific beliefs about spirituality and why we're here and what we're doing here. So.
Well, what are they? Give me one, because I agree with you. Spiritually, yes. Religiously, no.
No, well, religion is just as a man-made version of explaining spirituality, and then there's a whole lot of nonsense that's added on top of it. But most religions have the same basics, which, are congruent with my spiritual beliefs.
Right.
Well, the analogy would be a muscle doesn't grow unless you put resistance on it. So we're here and we grow from challenges and tough things and things that on the surface aren't going to make you happy or may disappoint you.
Right.
But those are the things I believe we were meant to go through while we were here.
Yeah.
At the same time, we have the ability to make changes and choices on other areas and circumstances and things in our lives, and we can choose to be happy at the same time. And I think really that's the challenge, is being able to go through the training process, getting your ass kicked, if you will, but still remain joyful and happy. That's really the challenge.
I love it. I remember when we met, and we met in somebody's kitchen, and you were giving advice to this wonderful woman who was going through some really horrific, trying times. That's why you're on the show, because you inspired her. You got me.
Right on.
You see?
I've declared that my mission anyway. So.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I was there to witness it, because I kept on saying to myself, he's definitely a part of my inner circle. I gravitated towards everything that you shared with her. And she wasn't a woman of excuses either. She's a woman of great doing.
Right.
But even the doers, like you and I and this wonderful woman who you were just sharing some valuable insight with, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all feel that. We all feel that bump in the road.
Part of life.
It's part of life.
Yeah.
And you gave her such clarity. It was wonderful.
Yeah, hopefully she absorbed.
I think
a
that
good
she
part of
did.
it. Yeah.
And then you also shared parts of you and your personal life with her. And I was looking at you like, this gentleman, his ego is so gone right now. Your ego, I don't know where it was, but it definitely wasn't on your shoulders. Your pride was not there. You were genuinely speaking to somebody from your heart.
Yeah, that's what I've tried to do.
And it was empowering. So keep that up, because that's amazing. How much time? Okay, good.
Makes for a happy life. It's really,
Yeah.
It makes you feel really good. to
It
touch
really
people.
does. And you and I, it's so funny because you're very, to me, well, because I'm just a nut job beyond belief. This crazy Jewish,
You and me
Hungarian,
both.
Russian New Yorker that is just whacked. And I find you to be more conservative.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so.
But you're engaging. You're not. You're just fabulous. How can people get a hold of you, Michael?
Well, I am a plumber, so I do have a plumbing website as well. My number's there. If you go to our website, my number's there. You could.
What's your
Shoot me a
plumber's?
text.
What's your plumbing website?
It's called yourreliableplumber.com.
yourreliableplumber.com.
No underscores, no spaces, just the 3 words.
I like it.
You can find us if you need
Yeah.
any help.
And I know because I also heard other people speaking about you at the party, saying that you're not only a reliable plumber, you're a reasonable plumber, and you don't rip people off.
Well, that's not congruent with,
Yeah,
what we do.
understood. But these are all the qualities of who makes Michael. So whether we want you as a plumber or whether we want you as a health coach, both of them are very, very, they're a huge asset in our lives.
Right
So
on.
if you're in New Hampshire and you got some plumbing problems, call Michael. Huh?
Yeah, we'll fix you up.
Well, rotor, rooter, inside and out.
That's it.
I love it. I love it. We are almost out of time, Michael. Any other last words of wisdom before we go off?
Just, you really need to take a look at your health and your lifestyle. People are out to get you, whether you like it or not, and it's important to become aware and learn how to keep yourself safe. So it's important.
There we go, everybody. The Happiness Jungle says life is not easy, but you can be happier. Thank you so much,
Right on.
Michael.
You're welcome.
Health be with you.
Thank you.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.